Hi guys, happy full moon. Hope you're doing well. I'm filming this a bit in advance because I plan to upload it um, on the full moon day because I want you to have something to listen to because I won't be able to film. I'll be busy with the skull spells. So this is why I'm making it now. It's just one day ahead. And in this audio, I have a couple of topics, and firstly, I want to answer some questions. So, one of you asked me whether you can read while you listen to the meditation. So, read a book while you listen to the meditation. The answer is absolutely not. No, because you need to focus on the meditation, on the words. That's the whole point. So, you can't do the meditation when you're doing something else. It needs to have your full focus. You really need to focus on every word because the point of the meditation is to basically reprogram your brain. And if you're not going to be listening to it and you're going to be doing something else and focusing on the book you're reading, it's not going to work. It can't work like that. So you need to do it when you can actually concentrate on it. I would recommend, before bed when you wake up, or in the middle of the day if you want to, if you can be alone for, 5, 10 minutes. It's really short. I created it short because I know that if a meditation is long, nobody will kind of do it regularly daily because that's just how I know how the brain works basically, guys. The brain works in a way that it will just start being like, oh no, I don't feel like listening to this again. And for like half an hour, no way. I just can't. And you're just gonna get sick of it and you're not gonna do it. But 5 minutes is totally doable, right? Even though it's the same thing over and over again, you will be, a bit bored, sure, but you will be able to sustain it because it's 5 minutes, right? So that's why I made it so short, and there is no reason for you to not focus on it for 5 minutes and read a book for those 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes of your day, okay? So you absolutely need to be, alone. You need to be in a quiet space, and you need to be relaxed. Not tense, not thinking about some other things, overthinking. That's the only reason why before bed and when you wake up is best. But it can be done in the middle of the day as well. It doesn't matter if you can actually focus, concentrate, and listen to it. You can do it whenever. Um, but like not in a car, not at work, not while you read, not while you watch TV. None of those will work. And I hope that's clear. Okay. Um, so another thing I wanted to talk about was patience. Honestly, in this 20 plus years, what have I noticed is the biggest reason why spells sometimes fail. And spells do fail sometimes, and I'm honest about it. And I will be honest about this from the beginning because it's a fact. There are a lot of reasons why, and sometimes the reasons are not under my control or your control. And that's basically when something is simply not meant to be, when something needs to take a different path. And I'm going to tell you this while I'm talking about it. You know how there are people, Neville Goddard followers, and just like manifestation followers, The Secret and everything, and they claim that we create absolutely everything in our life and we can just get whatever we want. Um, that is absolutely not true. I can assure you of that. So we do have a certain, amount of, I guess you can call it creating, but there are things that are just meant to happen, destined. For example, we are all destined to die. So, if we were creating everything, I bet that a bunch of people would just decide, oh, I want to live eternally. And nobody has ever managed to do that. So again, be logical and mindful when you listen to those people, because they're basically telling you what you want to hear. It sounds really nice, much better than the stuff I tell you. I know, I know. Also, when you see a spellcaster, okay, guaranteed results in 3 days. I know it sounds much better than me, who honestly tells you, oh, results are not guaranteed. And, if you have a hard situation, it will take some time. And that's not what you want to hear. You want fast results. You want, a quick fix. There is no quick fix. There is no quick fix. And no, we can't always get what we want, unfortunately. So some things are simply not meant to be for there, and there's a reason for that, which is very important. And that's why we just simply need to accept it if it's just simply not meant to be, and we tried everything and it's not happening. But aside from that, when that is not the case, and quite often it's not, when that is not the case, the biggest reason why spells fail is because, and it's not even the vibration thing, because I think that with enough work, everybody can switch their vibration and everybody can get high vibrational. Yes. So the main reason is that people give up really, really fast. So they just kind of get a spell. They try to follow the instructions for a bit. And then, they get sick of it. They can't do it. They just figure out, oh no, this is not working because I'm still going back into my victim mentality. And they just decide, okay, this is not going to work. I'm going to go to the next spellcaster. And, they do it for like 2 weeks up to a month, and they're like, okay, this is not working. Now, let me tell you, I had a bunch of hard cases, and a bunch of them have succeeded, and you have some reviews of them. And those were like extra hard cases, harder than you guys that I'm working with at the moment have. Okay, really hard cases. And it took me months to get those exes back. So um, everybody loves a timeline, and that's just really hard to give. But in those cases, I'm gonna give you the timeline. It was from 3 to 10 months. And 3 months is really fast for a hard situation, super fast. 10 months is more realistic, but also for most people, if the situation is not that hard as that one was, it's gonna be like 3 to 4 months, just on average. And just imagine it's 10 months, for example, 10 months that people have actually followed the instructions and did everything I told them. 10 months. And a lot has changed during those 10 months in their life in general, because being in high vibration is really, really great. And imagine if they gave up in like 2 weeks or a month, and they would be like, or 2 months even, they would be like, okay, this is not working. She is talking bullshit and magic isn't real, or she is not real, somebody else will help me, whatever. Imagine if they did that, and super hard situation, and they would never get that expect like that if they just gave up, right? But they didn't. And most people, honestly, I think would, and a lot of people do. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you have a difficult situation, and you all have difficult situations, not as difficult as these that I've mentioned, but difficult. Obviously, you can't expect it to happen quickly, but you can expect it to happen. And you need to be patient and follow the instructions. That is the only way. There is no quick fix. Absolutely not. Okay? So I really want to inspire you with this, because I know it's hard to wait that long. I know it's hard to be patient. Trust me, I do. I used to be a very impatient person. When I was young, I was super impatient, and this was one of my biggest flaws. And sure, sometimes I still get impatient because it's perfectly normal, but it's worth it, right? It was worth it for those clients. And if it's for you and you're willing to do everything you can to get the ducks back, then do your best. Okay, let's go to the next topic. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, a lot of you have asked me about the link for my new channel. It's actually in the description of the audio where I talk about it. So there's a link there, and there's also a link in the post section on YouTube as well. So you can find it easily. Um, I haven't posted another reading just because I have been really really busy with the skull spells. I haven't started sorry doing them yet because it's not the full moon when I'm filming this, but I have been making the candles and just preparing and stuff. So yeah, um, as always, I'm pretty excited for the full moon. Okay, let's just go to the next topic now. And for the last topic, I've decided to pick something that also a lot of you struggle with, and I find it very important. And we're gonna do a little bit of psychology for the end. So, guys, um, just to remind you, feeling down sometimes, feeling sad sometimes is perfectly normal. Working on yourself and on your vibration does not mean that you need to pretend that you're happy all the time. Nobody's happy all the time. That's impossible. It doesn't mean that you need to suppress any negative emotions that come and just ignore them. What it means is to actually deal with those emotions, because when you deal with an emotion, it kind of solves itself a lot faster than if you ignore it. It's very important to mention that. So, when you are feeling anxious, when you are feeling sad, when you are feeling a certain feeling, that's not a positive feeling, whatever it is, jealousy, envy, can be a bunch of stuff, right? What to do then? So, when you are feeling something that is unpleasant, because everything that's unpleasant is gonna um, make you feel very unpleasant, because it's not something that's pleasurable. So what to do is allow that feeling. Do not try to suppress it. Do not try to ignore it. Just deal with it, allow it, feel it, and then kind of decide to deal with it in a way to kind of find out why this feeling has appeared right now. Where is it coming from? Which part of you is not feeling satisfied and why? So, kind of analyze it and deal with it. You can journal about it, you can do a bunch of stuff. And then, after you've done that, you're going to notice that you're just going to start to feel better, and you'll be able to release that feeling a lot easier than if you were just trying to ignore it, think about something else, suppress it, and all those stuff. So, like I said, nobody can feel 100% good all the time. All sorts of feelings are a part of life. It's normal, it's natural, and the more you suppress your feelings, the worse it's gonna be. Okay, and then one last thing. Shadow self. A lot of people don't really understand what it means to do shadow work. What is your shadow self? Every single witch does shadow work all the time. And the reason why we do shadow work is because we can't do magic without it. And that is why clients need to do it as well. Shadow work is about accepting your shadow. So we all have parts of us, every single one of us. Nobody's perfect. Not a single person is perfect. Everybody has some shadow parts, and those are parts that you don't like about yourself. And I'm not talking about a big nose or a big forehead or small breasts or something like that. I'm talking about our traits, our personality traits. So I don't know, it can be if you're very jealous, if you're very self-conscious, if you you know something you're ashamed of, for example, a part of you that you're just ashamed of, you wish wasn't there, and you kind of decide to ignore those parts and to kind of pretend they don't exist, and that is not us. Maybe you like to gossip. It can be anything really, and basically, those are parts of us, like I said, that we are ashamed of, that we try to pretend we don't have. And those parts need love as well. They need love and they need to be acknowledged. And because we suppress them, this is why we will have reactions that are inappropriate, because those parts will come out at those types of situations. Sorry, because they want to be acknowledged, they want to be loved. And how it happens is that, for example, you kind of get upset at your partner, for instance, and you make this whole scene, and the worst parts of you come out, the parts that you normally suppress, ignore, keep inside. And then this person is like, whoa, what is that? They get scared, they get like, they just want to get away from you. And the reason why your subconscious is letting those parts out for them to see is because they need love and they need validation, and you kind of want them to love you with those parts as well. But the thing is that nobody will be like, oh great, when you have manic reaction. Those parts need validation and love from you, not from others. And you kind of don't want to give them that yourself, and you just kind of seek that validation in somebody else. But you're the one that is supposed to validate those parts. So I hope, guys, that you're working on all of these things, and I hope it's going well. And don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself ever. Don't ever allow yourself to stay in the victim mentality, because life can be so much better. Life can be great, and you can have amazing things. But if you stay in victim mentality, that's just, it's not only about attracting better things, it's also about feeling better. Because when you're in victim mentality, you don't feel good, do you? And it's unpleasant. Don't you want to feel better, really? So I hope this was helpful. I wish you a happy full moon. I hope you're having a wonderful full moon day, and I love you. Bye.